and are sometimes a little uncomfortable with some of the demographic changes that are going on. We can see in lots of different surveys. They're afraid of what it will do for the country, afraid it might do for their own safety. And that comes out in attitudinal surveys, which ask them, well, do you think the government should support the kinds of programs like education and other areas that will affect the next generation? And they're less likely to support and have their tax money support those kinds of things because they don't see the next generation as their children or their grandchildren. This comes up in other surveys which show that they're not excited about the new growth in Hispanics or Asians in the U.S. And it's not surprising that a message in the 2016 presidential election where Donald Trump understood this to some degree, and his Make America Great slogan was mostly received well by this older, sort of white, in some cases blue-collar population. Now, some of the Make America Great slogan had to do with the economy. These are people that remember the booming manufacturing jobs that were there back when they were young, and they wanted their children to be able to do this in the same way. But some of it also has to do with the changing demography and the messages about immigration restriction, about tougher police forces, about not so much political correctness, is also something that resonated with this old group, which is at one end of the cultural generation gap. Fortunately, for millennials and people younger than millennials, they have a sort of different view of a lot of these changes in the U.S. And it shows up in the elections. The last three presidential elections, the two elections that Obama won and the one that Donald Trump won, people over 40 voted Republican. People under 40 voted Democrat. And interestingly, in all three elections, at least in the national popular vote, the young people had the biggest sway over the result. And this shows you that the youth and the political cloud of youth going forward is going to be very important.